Hello, my friends. Welcome in. It's the end of year 13. We're chugging along. I'm interested to see, and we've had these in the comments as well. People are interested to see, like, what happens after our players kind of peak. Do they just retire, like Andrew C? Womp, 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 womp. Or do they get into management, and how does that go? If you're not familiar, we had that happen in FM19 with the 8 kids and 5 continents experiment, and we had one player who went like until he was 65. Yeah, that was fun to vacation through. And there's the garage door, in case you're part of the garage door fan club. Also, we got 3 new patrons. I just want to pause, and I know I talk about this at the front of a lot of videos, but I am continually amazed of the support that you all give me, whether it's just from the likes and comments or folks hopping onto the Patreon bandwagon. So, and I'm going to butcher these names, so I apologize in advance to these folks because they've been really awesome. So, Jakob Hoystrup, Peter Pfizer, and Joe Bridgman, thank you for joining the patronage. It really does mean the world to me. It is, like, you can't understand how motivating it is when people come along and say, like, I like your content enough to support you. Like, that is so motivating. I'm like, I'm doing 4 more series. Let's freaking do it. Obviously, I can't actually do 4 more series, but I just want to say thanks. Oh, and I messed up my green screen by moving my monitor. There we go. Hey, all right. Let's take a look at our players. We do have 10 players still. That is confirmed, my friends. First up, it's Juan, the Chilean wonder. 91 caps, 26 goals. You know, you'd like a little bit more production, but if they've been playing him in an attacking midfield role, maybe, hey, who knows? He's wanted by Wolverhampton. Well, my friends. Let's see. I mean, I feel like this list keeps getting longer. Look how long that list of traits is. Runs the ball through center, tries killer balls off and plays his shot, curls ball, plays 1-2s, knocks ball past the opponent, tries to play way out of trouble, tries long-range free kicks, likes to switch ball to other flank. Goodness. Long-range free kicks with a 9. I mean, is he a Hoffenheim legend? He's got another 10 goals in him from last season. Okay, 10 the previous season. Last season, he had 27 starts, 3 subs with 3 cup starts. This season, he's got 29 starts, 3 subs, 4 cup starts with a cup goal to go with the 10 league goals. 5 assists. A player of the match. He has 2 cup assists. He's got a 6.88, so a 0.07 improvement, and he's a 7.6 in the cup. Internationally, 13 starts, 1 sub, 8 goals. Woo! 3 assists, 3 players of the match with 717. I mean, is that he's coming of age right before our bloody eyes, my friends. He's banging in the goals. This is like the last 2 seasons internationally, he's banged in 14 goals and come up with 4 assists. And again, it may be combining some of those. We don't know. But it looks pretty good, my friends. Okay, let's see how. I'll just check. Right, can't see that. Right, can't see that. Let's check injuries first. Dare I say nothing? Is that risking it? Hoffenheim, same spot at 13th. He's in as, okay, so they appear, again, this is middle of the summer, so this isn't even the full squad. This could be some sort of friendly squad, who knows? But they have him slotted in as an attacking midfield center player, which is interesting. But again, who knows if that's actually accurate. They finished 13th. I mean, not as good as the heights of 6th and 7th that they've had in the past. But they didn't get relegated. If that's the best you could say, right? Contract-wise, still the same contract. You got 2 more years left. So this is kind of a, once you get to about 18 months or a year, does the club start making decisions, right? Because at that point, he'll be going 30, 31 with 2 years left. Will they sign him to a new deal and extend it? Or will they kind of say, let's see who, can we sell him to Wolverhampton? In terms of Chile, they are at 13th. They were at 10th, but, same ballpark. Quite an improvement from 34th, and prior to that, 43rd. He's not on their... Well, he's not on either list, so that's kind of interesting. With the goals he's been banging in, huh? Okay, let's go back. all friendlies is what it looks like. One, you got to play in a World Cup final. Okay? I mean, what else can you ask for aside from wanting to win it? So, your team let you down because maybe you're the fifth taker, who knows, but lost at a penalty shootout. Of course, you had a 6.4. You didn't really help the team either. But we come on strong here with the friendlies, the post-World Cup friendlies. He gets a brace against Iran on an 8.4. I mean, and then a brace against Costa Rica. 4 goals in 2 games. That's a way to bounce back from having been in the World Cup final and not have won it. They were angry. He gets a goal on a 6.8 and a draw against Japan. A 6.8 in a victory over Mali. A 6.7 and a draw with Australia. Which you probably would... Australia is like, what? 30th. So you'd probably be disappointed with that, right? Like, you're in the World Cup final. You're drawing with Australia. Sorry, Australian fans. And then a victory with a penalty in the 59th minute. Not the winning goal, but the go-ahead goal. And then they... Wait. No, it was the winning goal, and then they equalized. No, anyway. I should edit that out, but I'm not going to. A 7.4 with a goal. Yay. That's interesting. That's all friendlies. So, okay, hold on a second. Is this indicating that there is no... I guess there's no Nations League that's been introduced in CONMEBOL. So they've got the Copa America, but they obviously World Cup qualification, but no Nations League. So that's interesting because this is like the old school model, right? All friendlies. A 6.6 and a draw with New Zealand. 106, disappointing, I think you'd have to say. 7.8 without a goal against Saudi Arabia. Maybe he was involved with some assists, who knows? A draw with Germany on an 8.4. I think you'd take that. A loss to Scotland on a 6.9. I don't think you'd take that. And then they've got a friendly with Egypt before they start World Cup. So they're headed right into World Cup qualification. So maybe that was a little long on that. I just think that kind of stuff is interesting. What do you think is going to happen with one? Right? Like when you look at the career, Chile, then he goes to DC United, who sells him for $6 million. I'd say Hoffenheim's gotten their value, right? Wouldn't you? Is there 26.5 million? Will they try and cash in while they can? Or let's take one last look here at the club general. Okay, so he's not favorite personnel. He's not obviously a legend yet. Just an all-around solid player, though. I wonder if we go back and look, is he in like the seasonal? I want to know if he's in like the best 11 period. Season Chilean overall best 11. Oh, that's pretty good. This awards, yeah. I just want to know Hoffenheim. Did I miss it? Inducted into the Hoffenheim overall best 11 in 2028. So he's been in it. And then he made the Chilean one. So that's good. All right, next player. You know, I try and speed these up, but then there's stuff to talk about. So I apologize for the long episodes, but it's fun. And thank you to... Well, I'll look it up here for the next person. I got a comment about the attribute thing not having... It disappeared. Mateus Mendez, if that's how you say it. I'm sorry if that's not how you say it, but I think it's Mateus. 18 decisions. That's always... Okay, let's look. Gets forward whenever possible. Plays 1-2s. Dictates tempo. Looks for pass rather than attempting to score. Knocks ball past the opponent. Avoids using weaker foot, which is why he's right only. Does not dive into tackles with 14 tackling. And tries long-range passing. Which I think with 18 vision and 13 passing, you probably get away with. 125K a week. Still with Dortmund. And signed a new contract 2 days ago. I feel like Grant's got a love-hate relationship with Dortmund. Let's see. Did he actually play last season? Okay. Is he back in the good graces? Is that... He had 6 starts with 22 subs, and now he's got 10 starts with 14 subs. So 2 more total appearances with obviously more starts with a goal and 2 assists. Last season, he had 2 goals and 1 assist. Not exactly lighting it up, though. A 6.69 with a cup start, 4 subs. That's an increase. And 3 continental starts, 7 subs. That's an increase. None of the ratings are blowing you out of the water. 10 international starts, though, with a goal and 2 assists on a 6.95. It's more appearances, less goals and assists and rating on the international level. It's kind of hard to tell, isn't it? Had a gashed head, and bruised ribs, but nothing major, just a lot of knickknacks along the way. So that's just interesting to me. How did Dortmund end up? Okay, they're in 5th. They have fallen off, my friends. I mean, they finished 6th in 23-24, and prior to that, 7th in 2014-15. Besides that, they have been near the top, or, well, okay, I guess top 5. But that still seems like a drop-off in comparison to, like, present day, where they're, first, second, first, drop-off, second, and then top 4. So, Yaya Toure still in charge. That's interesting. Let's take a look here. Yep, still as their right center mid is how they have him listed. Now, look at the wages. 125 versus his partner's 375. And they have, okay, that's more of a central defender or DM. Interesting. So with that having been said, they did have Continental. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. Who'd they play? Champions League group stage with Monaco, Benfica, and Slavia Praha. Okay. All right. Did he did get some games in here, didn't he? He subbed in 6.5. 6.8 and a start. Okay, and they lost, but that's not his fault. Subbed in 6.5. Not as good on the subbing in, right? That's the DFB Pokal. Subbed in. There's the garage. We're cleaning out our garage. Can you tell by the recent episodes, if you've been watching all the series, the garage door's been going up and down a lot. Subbed in, no rating, but they got the victory. Monaco subbed in 6.6 with a yellow and a loss. It was just taking the team's frustration out, I guess. 6.9 in a victory. And then they got knocked out to the Europa League against Eindhoven. They got past them on a 5-0 aggregate scoreline. He was not involved. I do that and I go like, did I miss him? Because I'll get a comment. He subbed in on a 6.5 in the second leg. Looks like a sub here against Stuttgart in a 2-1 victory. Okay, 6.1 with a red card, my friends. I'm trying to sure to miss him up here. Okay. Yeah. Props to his team for not only not conceding after he goes off on the red card, but scoring 2 more goals to seal it. Because oh man, if you're a fan of the yellow wall, you're sitting there going like, oh no, right? Because they've already they just need well, they would have needed, I guess, 2 away goals, right? That's my math right there. Someone will tell me if I'm wrong. Then Arsenal wiped him out on a 4-1 aggregate scoreline. And Grant didn't play there. Is that because of the red? 6.4 and a sub there. They made the DFB Pokal semifinal, lost to Borussia Mönchengladbach on a 6.5. So, is it that he started strong? Sorry, something in my eye. And like they rotated him in? Or no, it looks like he was subbing in at the beginning and not playing in other games. Is he only playing against like weak competition? I'm trying to see like if is there like a rhythm here, right? Like to why he is or isn't playing. We'd have to look at the whole table, I guess. But what I'm most confused about, and I know, this is already 5 minutes. What I'm most confused about is he's on a first team contract. I know you don't have to play people first team all the time when they're on a first team contract. It just seems odd to me that they seem to be using him as a backup / rotation option. I don't know. That's just me. Scotland, he's had some appearances. Up to 48th. I think that's an improvement from last time. It's definitely an improvement for where it was. Again, this over here says it's September 2021 at 35th. And this is May 3031. That doesn't make any sense. I think this should be probably over here, would be my guess. That's so weird. Get it straight, Sports Interactive. All right, Albania, a 6.8 with a goal and a draw. Is that the equalizer or the win? Yeah, well, the winning goal and then they equalized. Wales, 6.5 in a victory. 8.2, much better. It's against Georgia, but hey, you take what you can get, right? Wales, 6.8 in a draw. Albania, 6.8 in a draw. Georgia, 7.5 in a loss Did they? No. Wait. Oh, look how tight that is. So they are stuck in League C for the Nations League. And then some friendlies. Peru, 6.8. 6.8. Azerbaijan, 6.7 with a yellow. Chile, a 6.6. Goodness. Lots of going on there. And then we don't know what's going to happen next. So that's what's going on with Grant. Again, I'm not trying to make this long, but I just think there's some interesting stuff. So let's go on to our next player. Sorry, Grant, about your lack of starts. I know you were talking about that in the comments. Jordan Bradford, as soon as I see this, I'm like, he's with the same club. He's up to 103 caps. Please tell me they gave him a kit with 100 on it, like to honor him. That's awesome. Key player, 165K. Hey, man, develop a player trait, would you? Doesn't dive into I don't know. I don't even know what player trait your keeper could have. Right. Okay. And he is, it looks like starting, right? 31 starts, 33 the previous season. One if he had an injury. 32 conceded last season, 45. So, okay, 692 in both of the seasons. So that's probably more the defense getting better than Jordan, right? Like, it's not like he had 9 clean sheets this season and 4 players in the match. This is 8 clean sheets, no players in the match. But they still conceded 1 less goal. Okay. Essentially a goal a game versus like almost a goal and a half in the previous season. 2 cup starts, 5 conceded. No clean sheets on a 6-1-5. Not great, mate. 7 continental starts with 6 conceded with 4 clean sheets. That's better. 6-7-6 and 13 internationals with 9 conceded, 6 clean sheets. So in 6. Okay, so in 7 games they gave up 9 goals. That's not bad. I thought it was going to be in like 4 games they gave up 13 because I was thinking of the wrong numbers on a 7-2-3. How'd they end up? Okay. Well, that shouldn't surprise you, right? Because I know it's just 1 spot, but when you concede significantly less goals, you would go, yeah, we probably did better, right? Like, unless you had a big drop off in your own goal scoring production, that's generally a good thing. And he's playing in the Europa League with Dynamo Kiev, Ajax, and Jagiellonia Białystok from Poland. 6.9, 7.5, nice. Is Hoffenheim. Oh, I'm so glad I clicked on that, even though who cares about the DFB Pokal, but a 5.6. Is it really a 5.6, or is it a 5.6 because they went, let's count them, my friends, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 deep, my friends. 16 deep penalty shootout with Jordan Bradford scoring 1, and he's still at a 5.6. Is that really his fault? I mean, because he couldn't. You tell me. I've never had a game go that deep. Would that crush your goalkeeper rating, or is it more from the 3 goals they allowed? That is unbelievable. Okay. Oh, it didn't go so. That one goal cost him the Europa League. Oh, it got knocked. Oh, the ratings went downhill after that. Did it crush his confidence? Hopefully not. Did he play at the end of the season? Yeah, so 6.2. Hey, there's a 7.1. That's good. A 6.8 with an injury. 8.1. Okay. I just want to check on him. Make sure he's not like getting crushed. So that, I'm so glad I clicked on that. Let's go take a look at Indonesia, who continue. I mean, look, it's 135th to 74th. They're up 61 spots at 1.62 spots. That is so impressive. Captain and key player. Top player, as you might expect. An international legend, my friends. Did he play here? 7.2 with an injury. 6.6. We'll take a look at the injuries. This has got me kind of concerned. Okay, Singapore played. Who knows if one of our players played in it. A 6.4 here. So, again, maybe he wasn't released. A 7.6 and a loss to Saudi Arabia, so that's not his fault. A 7.0 and a victory over Pakistan. a 7.2, and a loss to Australia. AFC Asian Cup, okay. So you got an 8.3 against the Philippines and a victory. A 7.5 against Malaysia. I wonder... No, Andrew C. retired. Oh, every so often it comes up. But a 7.5 is not bad, my friends. A 7.3 and a 2-1 victory. And then they lost in the quarterfinal to Iraq on a 6.8. And they had a sending off. Well, that was at the end of the game. So they scored early and then not a whole lot doing, even with the sending off. And then a 6.6 and a friendly draw with Uzbekistan. World Cup qualification off to a good start, right? 8.0 and a 2-0 victory, and 7.5 and a 2-0 victory. I'd say, and losing a player at the beginning of the game to an injury, right? Because that's what you would think there with no rating. So that guy got injured like the first 4 minutes or something, and then they had to pull him off. So, I mean, I know it's early days, right? But currently top of the table. I mean, they're in the hunt. They're in the hunt. There's a long way to go, but they're in the hunt, my friends. And that is what's going on with Jordan Bradford. 16 penalties. My goodness. Jonathan Needham is still with Juventus, but he is listed for 61 million and wanted by Lazio. Oh, a little inside Serie A move, if you will. Okay, so the previous season he had 30 starts and a sub. This season he's got 20 with 5. I didn't look at Jordan Bradford's injuries. We will do that, my friends. 7 assists, no goals, 667, 2 cups, 6 continental starts, 9 international starts with a sub, no goals in any of those, 3 continental assists, 4 international assists. International on a 697 is his best rating. Was he, okay, 5 weeks out with damaged knee cartilage, and then he probably had to work his way back in. And then he had a sports hernia right after we did the episode for 4 weeks. So he missed, okay, that's 9 weeks. That's a week. So that's 10 weeks. It's like, 11 weeks, 2 days. So that explains the drop-off, or at least part of the drop-off in his utilization. Although they now have him as not needed. Like, they are kicking him to the curb, my friends. He's got a deal for another 3 years. And they still owe him almost 6 million euros in loyalty bonus. And he gets 5% of the sell-on fee. Agent's happy. Jonathan's happy. Vision is incredible. Look at that. Look at that vision. Delicious. Oh, okay. How's this Mexican career going? Okay, they're at 16th. Not listed, but he's a top player, but he's not one of those. Right. Let's go back and take a look. So they lost to England. We saw that. And then hopping right back into it. 6.9. 7.4 and a loss. That's you played well to get a 7.4 and a loss, especially a 3-1 loss. A 6.0 in a victory. You played poorly to get a 6.0 in a victory. A 6.7 in a loss to South Korea. A 6.9 in a victory over Paraguay. Not a lot of draws there, as you know. Injury 6.5 against South Africa. We'll have to see if Danny Dobson was in that game. Probably was. 7.6 in a victory over in the North American Nations League against Guadeloupe. And then in that same window, well, that's interesting. So the Nations League and a friendly, and then 2 Gold Cup games. Huh. That's odd scheduling, wouldn't you say? For the Nations League? Like, you might put that in March or something. I don't know. 7.2. Not bad. And then in the Gold Cup, did he play in the Gold Cup? Yes, 8.0 in a victory. And then probably, yeah, came in as a sub. Needed a rest because that's a lot of games to play in. And now they're still in the group stage. And they are currently top. Clear by 2 points. So not clear all the way, but they're in the hunt. And obviously in the Nations League, they've only played 1 game. They're still top because those things. Makes sense. Yeah, we already looked at the injuries. So that's what's going on there. Let me know what you think about Jonathan. Let's go take a look at Jordan's injuries. Okay, cut hand, 7 days. Okay, so it's showing injuries, or maybe they just pulled him from the game, but like pulled wrist ligaments out for a day, bruised hand out for 2 days, cut hand 7 days. That's not bad. All right, back to our players. Mike Vitek, still at Chelsea, first team. I want to say he was on a rotation contract, so that's kind of curious, wouldn't you say? 98 caps. He's about to get that 100 cap kit delivered. Get it out. Words. Here we go. All right. So, previous season, 4-19 in terms of starts and substitute appearances. Now he's up to 8-11. So that's 4 less total appearances with a goal, 2 assists. He didn't have a goal last season, so progress. And he's got a better rating, 6.9. 2 cup starts, 3 continental starts with 6 subs with a goal on a 6.8. 10 international starts. Yay! 6.59. Ooh. That's kind of what you think, isn't it? Let's go see what that means, right? So Chelsea finished 4th. Okay, made top 4 with Ancelotti. It's always interesting to me to see like how like things have kind of rotated. So he's not in the first team, my friends. And he obviously can play anywhere up and down the left side and on the midfield and attacking midfield on the right. So he's got Jadon Sancho to deal with. And Fabio Silva. I mean, it's just funny, right? Like, that is like a kid in the photo, but it's because we're so far in the future. I just think that's... He'd be happy, I'm sure, if that's... I gotta know. Okay, he's a Porto prospect. He's probably expecting good things. To be a footballer. Okay, the previous season, they were 5th. So they did have some Europa League. Malmo, Torino, and Krasnodar. And did he play? 7.0 in a start, my friends. 7.0. That's I was like, Wimbledon? That's in the cup. Sorry. Did not play against Torino, but they didn't need him because they won 4-2. Krasnodar. 6.6. So was somebody injured here? And that's why... Oh. I just realized the goalkeeper got set off for a red in the 9th minute, and they still won. Oh, that's got to be gutting if you're Malmo. When the starting keeper gets sent off in the 4th minute or 9th minute, it doesn't matter. In the first 15 minutes, you're like, we're probably going to win this game. Nope. A 6.5 looks to be a substitute appearance in a double sending off game. Look at the ratings. 5.7 in between some 7 point somethings. He comes in as a sub on a 7.3. Impact sub, I think you could say. 7.3 against Torino in a victory. And then they made the next round, obviously, and they got Mold. And he was a 6.3, but they won. So they won in spite of Mike. Maybe it was a bad tackle, right? Maybe not a yellow card, obviously, or a red card. Did not play in the next game, but they got through 7-0 on aggregate. Galatasaray. Christian Pulisic is on the squad, apparently. That's probably not good if you're Mike. Let's be honest. Was that... He comes in as a sub as a 6.7 against Lyon. Is he playing in between? So is he kind of like the cover for everybody while they go off and do Europe? West Brom in the Europa League semifinal. If you're a West Brom fan, you're happy. 6.7 with an injury. Lovely. Doesn't start. Did he come back here? Nope. Still injured. Probably. Hopefully. They get into the final with Arsenal. He comes on as a sub. Doesn't get a rating. Doesn't matter. They win 3-1 in extra time. So did he come on at the very, 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 very end of the game to waste time? Potentially. Did you seal it? Did Mike seal the victory? I think that's the narrative we can go with. I think that's fair for sure. Let's go take a look. I know Christian Pulisic is actually going there. When did he sign? Okay, so he's been there. So it's not like I was wondering if like he just showed up. I couldn't remember it from previous episodes. But okay, so I guess they've updated and that's a thing, and off he goes. So he's been there the whole time. I just happened to not remember that because I was thinking if he came in, he kind of plays an attacking midfield role. That could be a danger if you're Mike. But I'm curious to see how this goes with Mike as a first teamer. If he's actually going to get first team minutes. They're up to 73rd, so they've rebounded from 82nd. He's their captain and key player. He's their third top player. That looked like that was going well. Okay, let's take a look. All right, Portugal in a friendly. He played a 6.7 and a loss. And the UEFA Nations League against Belarus, 6.7 and a loss. Slovenia, a 6.4 and a draw. Algeria, a 6.8 and a victory. Argentina, 6.7. Not crushing it, you could say. 6.3 and a loss to Slovenia. A 6.2 and a victory. Hosting Belarus. Okay, so did that wouldn't have gotten them promoted, would it? No, they are still in League C on 4 whopping points. But in the Euro qualifiers, they've got 9 points. Is that gonna be a good start? Could they get a draw away to Switzerland and that be? Oh, they've got France. I forgot about that part. 6.6 with an injury, but they won 5-0. Was he injured? Is that... Those games are close together. That's 3 days apart. Goodness me. A 6.9 and a victory away to Iceland. And a 6.6 with another injury with Switzerland. So how are they looking? They're currently 9... I mean, I think if you told Northern Irish fans, you're in Euro qualifying with Switzerland, France, Iceland, Estonia, Gibraltar, that after 4 games, you're ahead of France by a point, and you're behind Switzerland by a point, I think you take that. What do you think? Let me know. All right, my friends, it's Paul Colum Bunny. All right, how's he doing? Tries killer balls often, knocks balls by opponent, 155K, first team contract. Here we go, my friends. Looks like we got some appearances. Okay. 24-10 previous season. Wait. Oh, sorry. It throws me off. Oh, we can see the form. Yay. 20-7 last season, 3 goals, 4 assists. 28-1. Is he settling into Spain? 2 goals, 8 assists. That's good production. 6, 7, 8. That's not a good rating in comparison to the previous season. 703 in the Cups. 3 starts. 12 continental starts with a goal and 4 assists on a 6.92. I'd say that's pretty decent. And 10 international starts with a goal and 4 assists on a 6.95. Atletico Madrid finished in 3rd. So, progress. And Pep's there. Hello, Pep. Maybe we knew that. I don't remember. Hold on. Let's check injuries. Bruised shoulder and food poisoning. He had that stress fracture in his back, but he's okay. He's okay. He's okay, lads. I'm still in it. I just want to look at the Champions League. Liverpool in a draw. They had a sending off in the 21st minute. They still got a draw. Way to go, Liverpool. Not biased. Hashtag 6.4. Austria Vienna on a 4-0 on a 6.7. Club Brugge. If you're Liverpool and Atletico Madrid, I think you're happy with that draw, right? To get Club Brugge and Austria Vienna and each other, you're like, hey, with the 2 of us, can we go up? Yeah, sounds good. A 6.8. That's the Copa del Rey. 7.2 and a 3-0 victory. They beat Liverpool boo on a 6.5. And then a 7.1. I mean, that's really solid, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is a clean sweep in the group stage for Atletico Madrid. Right. Then they get Benfica. And they continue their clean sweep. Goodness me, a 7.0 and an 8.0. And then they get Barcelona. And they got past them on away goals. Okay, so 7.0 with a goal. Nice critical goal, my friends. Critical goal. And then a 7.4. Paul is doing really well at a high level. And then in the Champions League semifinal, they go out on a 2-3 score line. It's because Paul went out with an injury on a 6.6, and he's a 6.3. He wasn't back from his injury, even though, yeah, that's like a week later. That's what we can blame. Sure. Makes sense to me. And then from a Norway standpoint, 28th, at 1.58th, and then they kind of got up to 28th and dipped down to 42nd, and now they got up all the way to 25th, my friends. He's their fourth top player. Let's take a look. Nations League against Germany and Holland. I think we predicted this, right? They had a sending off the 5th minute, and then referee was busy at the Nations League. Goodness. Okay, a 7.7. Nice. You still lost. 7.7. A 6.7 and a 4-2 loss. And a 6.3 and a 3-1 loss. I'm about to sneeze. Venezuela, an 8.0 and a victory. That's right. It's like right there. A 7.0 and a loss. He's playing well. I mean, again, I think we anticipated no points, -7 goal differential. Whoop, going straight down. But you were against Germany and Holland. Like, what are you expecting? And then in the Euros, they've yet to have a loss. That's got to be good. A 7.3, a 6.5, a 6.7, a 6.9. Not exactly lighting it up, but, you know, getting it done, I guess. And a 6.4. They are currently top of their group, but they even with the games in hand, right? The most the next team could have would be 8. So things are looking up for Norway in terms of Euro qualifying. Looking pretty good if I do say so myself. And we didn't even look at this, did we? Oh, we get to see it. He's still being used as a midfielder, so that it really doesn't tell us a whole lot, right? Like it's either he's a DM or he's a central midfielder. So I guess we could see, you know, he got an assist against Real Madrid. Always good. Got a goal and an assist against Celta Vigo. A brace of assists against Villarreal and Benfica. How's Norway using him? Norway's also using him in a midfield role. So you can kind of take a look at that if you like. Pause if you would like to do that. We are going to go look at our next player. What? Aysel Hetland has moved to Arsenal for 11.5 million euros, my friends, which is really not all that much. It's supposed to be 231 million. Yes, you don't need to leave me a comment. I know it's tied to their wages. I just think it's hilarious that a player that's worth 10 million, you have a release clause of 200 bajillion dollars or euros or pesos or whatever it is. It's a lot of money. I think it's hilarious. All right. So this is going to be interesting because it shows us 30-31 here, but it must have been maybe like a January move, or no, it was it must have just happened. It just happened in June. Because I'm going, well, he had appearances here, right? That's where, okay, so last season, because calendar year, finished with 31 starts, a sub, 8 goals, 7 assists on a 7-1-2. Pretty good, if I do say so myself. Flamengo. Did I say Flamengo? Flamengo. 10 starts, 2 subs in these, what must have been the second half of the season, right? With 2 goals and assists on a 6.9, 2 cup starts with a goal and assist on an 8.0, 7 continental starts with 3 goals, 2 assists, 2 players of the match on a 7.44, no international. He had two international last season. Oh, has he fallen out of favor? Injuries? No, that's notes. I don't take notes. Broken wrist after last episode, out for 6 weeks. 6 weeks in training. Gotta love that. And then a twisted ankle, and then pulled abdominal muscle. So kind of not the best year. And they were like, okay, you're racking up the hospital bills here, the doctor bills. So we're gonna sell you. Good luck. Have a nice day. Which is, you know, that's not what you want to see. But let's see how Flamengo ended up. Last season, they're in 6th. They're currently... So they said, okay, he's injury prone and costing us a lot of money. So let's sell him and see if we can bring in somebody else. Is that kind of what they were thinking? Okay, that's the buys, right? 621. Did they? Oh, they didn't use it to fund the purchase of anybody. So 38.5 million out and 29.5 million in, but those were all before they sold him. So Maybe they've got their eye on somebody. Who knows? Interesting. There's so many cups. Oh my goodness. Was he playing? Yeah, 7.1. That's the game. I just happened to pick the game he got injured in. 7.9 with a penalty in the 18th minute. Didn't play. Came back. Okay. So his contract is a rotation contract. 78 grand. Thomas Tuchel has taken over. They've kind of been bang average. You know, trying to get up to that 5th spot, but haven't been able to get to it in the last several seasons. I want the play. Okay, so again, I know this is not probably accurate, but he's not even listed up there. That, especially when you look at the wages, right? Like you do have a kid here who's in the 12th sub spot, and the backup goalkeeper, and everybody else above him makes more money. And then there's some backup players here that make less than a rotation player that makes less than a hot prospect. So, like, he's kind of at the low end of the totem pole just from a wage budget standpoint with Arsenal. He's good for another 4 years. He got paid. His agent got paid. Agent's happy, probably. I mean, when you look at this, you go like, okay. Like, he's got really good physicals. Is he really going to develop technically? Probably not, would be my guess. I don't know. I've not had a save in a Premier League club, but you would just go, yeah, it probably makes sense that he's a rotation option. Like he's that guy you bring off the bench with good pace, acceleration, agility, and he can cross and dribble. So like whether you have him an inside forward or a winger, he could do all right. He could run with the ball well. He could knock it past an opponent. But I would imagine more of that bench player that comes on hopefully fairly regularly. So we'll have to see how that ends up. And then he had, 2 appearances? Boy, they've dropped off. 6 to 22nd. And we have to hunt for it here. But luckily, there's not that many games. I guess we'll find out. Okay. A 7.0 and a loss to France. A 6.7 and a victory over Saudi Arabia. Didn't play. So has he fallen out of favor with the Uruguayan national squad under Rodolfo Andonofo, who just appeared, has no history, and I was like, that's a regen face. Interesting. Explain that to me in the comments. How does a regen with no history become the manager at Uruguay? Ozkatan still at Stoke. A rainy night in Stoke on a Wednesday. 94K. 29 years old, 61 caps, 12 goals. Okay. Previous season 32-2, next season 33. So he's starting. 4 goals, 10 assists. That's a significant. That's literally double what he did last season in both categories on a 6.84. Improved his rating a little bit, but my goodness, I think you take the production increase to get the 2 goals to 4 and 5 assists to 10. Sure. 3 cup starts last season. He had 3. He had 8 international starts last season. He had 7 with 2 goals and 4 assists on a 7.03. And they're still in the Prem. How'd they end up? 15th. They're still in the Prem. I mean, I think you say that you're seeing success there personally. Gashed head, bruised ankle, gashed upper leg. You had the flu. Man, you had the August flu. That is a flu, man. I don't know. Around here, flu doesn't kick in August. Maybe it's different because of the rainy nights in Stoke on a Wednesday. But that seems a tad rough, to be honest with you. There's really not a whole lot to show you because of Stoke not doing anything from a continental competition standpoint. But good on him that he's gone 33 of the 38 potential starts, and he's played in 3 cup games. And he's got some international appearances. Let's go see how Ireland's doing. Oh, they got up to 33rd. He's their 5th. He's playing with, I think I noticed that last time, Jake Doyle-Hayes. So the partner's there, my friends. He's the vice captain. Jake is the captain. Troy Parrott is a key player. All that seems accurate. Okay, lots of goals. 4-1 and a 6.9. lost to France in the Nations League. Again, I think when you're in Nations League A with France and Spain and you're Ireland, you're kind of going, yeah, I don't think we're going to win. I don't think this is going to go well. And it didn't. They didn't win a single point, and they, oh gosh, what is it? 14 goals, negative 14 goal differential, or negative 13 because they scored one. This is the consolation goal. 6.2, 6.7. Okay, friendly against South Africa. Did Danny Dobson play? We'll find out. On a 6.6. I mean, they're all like beaten down at that point. It's just like repeated. Oh, it's not just me. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch the episode in the Aaron Gobra series where I said I almost uninstalled, and I was not kidding. So it doesn't happen to just me. We have to improve the international refereeing. I wonder if they just said, like, mate, or if he was injured, but like, mate, we're going to bring in some youngsters because we're not going to win. We're automatically going down after losing the first two games 7-0 aggregate scoreline. Negative 13, right? Yeah, right. Oh, and France misses out of what, goal differential or goals for? Either way. Right. And then the Euros, they lost to Romania on a 7.3, not his fault. Beat the Faroe Islands 5-0 with an 8.4. That's a good time to get a goal. Let's be honest. And that's the 62nd. That was the nail in the coffin, right? And then they did, that's interesting, back-to-back with Lithuania. That seems a bit odd. And he got a 6.8 and a draw and a 7.3 with a goal. A 20th minute goal. That's a lot of scoring in the first 20 minutes, and then nothing else happened the rest of the game. Not looking great. The fact that you've got a 2-point gap to Romania, and they've got a game in hand, and Germany is a point behind you, has 2 games. I'd say Ireland don't make the Euros. That's just me. I could be wrong. It's just not looking good. But he's in the mix, right? He's part of the squad. He's probably playing an attacking midfield role or the advanced playmaker type situation would be my guess, based off of this and all these. Runs the ball through center, gets forward, blah, 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 plays one. Okay. Still really amazing vision and technicals. I think that's interesting. Despite like the finishing and the free kick taking and all that not being as good, he's still rated here overall because of the categories he has the dark green for. So, and the mentals, I would honestly go like, shouldn't that be a little bit higher? But that's interesting. Physicals, he's doing okay. Speed, vision. All right. Here we go. Next player. There he is, boys and girls. Marcus From. 97 caps, 100 goals. So he's got the 100 goals kit from Singapore, and then they're going to come out, in 3 games to give him the 100 caps. That is ridiculous. And they won the league. Yippee skippy. They won the Super Cup. They're back to being the Bayern Munich of old. He's still in the first team. Did he actually play? More than the previous season. He was 6 starts, 8 subs. Prior to that, 15-8. Prior to that, 29-1. So 15-10 is an improvement, I guess. 14 goals and 15 starts with 10 subs. I still don't think you can complain. 5 assists. I'm so astonished. I can't even, my words. 6 players of the match. A 7-5-7, my friends. In the Bundesliga. A 7.57 average rating. 2 cup starts, 3 subs with 3 goals on a 7.66. 1 continental start with 4 subs on a 6.57. Not as well, my friends. That is a bit shocking. Continental, not really his cup of tea in comparison, or the competition's much more difficult. 9 international starts, 6 goals, 2 assists on a 7.06. Mate, you had 3 games where you didn't score, apparently, on average. What happened? What happened? You had 12 goals? Oh, 2 seasons in a row, 12 goals. 16 the one before that, only 6. Singapore fans are nervous. Quite. All right, so Bayern won the league. Yep. Yeah, of course they did. Let's take a look at the schedule. All right, they have Valencia, Inter, and Olympiacos. And they came on as a sub. What's going on? He didn't even feature. Unused sub. Maybe they're trying to keep him fresh. Am I missing from? No. What about the game right before? Okay. His evil twin that we talked about. 10.0 with a brace. A 10.0 with a brace? It's not like he scored 6 goals. That's pretty impressive. I'm just looking for the games that are around these to see if he didn't play in that one either. He played against Dortmund on a 6.8. They won. Is he playing in the cup? Oh, evil Marcus has taken his spot. Valencia. He comes on as a sub. Not enough to get a rating. 6.4 and a loss to Inter. That's not very good. Okay, DFB Pokal? No. Oh, this is not boding well. A 6.9 is a sub against Man U. 6.4 is a sub against Man U. And they got knocked out. It's because you didn't start Marcus From. They made it to the DFB Pokal final. They lost to Borussia Mönchengladbach. He played a 6.8. So he is kind of being used. Okay, 8.3 the brace against FC Kaiserslautern. Welcome back to the Bundesliga, Kaiserslautern. What happened? Did they get relegated? Yep, they got relegated. But they made it. They made it back up. Considering this situation, and then they, I don't think, got promoted in real life last season. Or that would be this season. I have an FC Kaiserslautern pen from my journeyman. Anyway, I tend to notice things like that. So I'm just trying to see, like, are they only using him sporadically? Or am I just missing it? But man, that is crazy. I mean, I know it's Bayern, right? He's on the bench. Evil Marcus is making less money and getting what looks to be more appearances. Let's just look at his history. 28 starts. He's taken his spot. Evil Marcus. His evil twin. Okay, let's take a look at Singapore. Up to 121st. At one point, they were 117th. Still quite the run. Still the captain. Still the key player. Ooh, those ratings. Oh my. Okay. Not playing in the friendlies. They surely haven't phased him out. Or were they playing folks that were going to play in this? Is that the excuse we can give them? They wanted to get their squads ready for the Southeast Asian Championship. Is he an unused sub here? I mean, he went from April when he had a hat trick at a 10.0 and doesn't play the rest of the year. He comes back in, okay, first of the year. It's been 8 months. Hey guys, how you doing? 7.9 with a brace and an injury. But not enough to keep him out, so it was just like a niggling injury. He put 6.4, they lost to Jordan. And then they did Asian Cup group stage. 6.6 with an injury. 6.3. Oh my goodness. 6.9 with a goal. The going got tough. A 7.0 and a loss with a goal. World Cup qualification, 6.8. Have they figured out? Put 3 people to man mark Marcus From. They can't do anything else? A 7.5 with a niggling injury. Oh, that's not the best. I mean, there's still a lot of games to be played, right? What, they've got 7 more games? So there's still points to be won. But that is concerning, I think. But surely they don't have anybody better. That's what I don't understand. Let's look at his injuries. Tight calf, bruised knee, like all fractured toe, 3 weeks. That hurts. But that's it. So kind of like maybe he's pulling up and it's like a slight thing. But the fact I'm worried. Is he going to get to the 100 cap? Surely. They got World Cup qualification. Surely. Right? Last but not least, he's been mentioned several times. And my goodness, he's changed clubs. Has he? Yes. Okay. Danny Dobson. So we got to make sure we look at his international Shoots with power, cuts on fire, wins, tries first time shots, 97 caps. We've got a bunch of players almost on 100 caps or at 100 caps. Goodness me. 14 million, exactly what they paid for him. So let's look at this. So Club Brugge has him on loan, 27 starts, 28 starts, 27 starts, 24 starts, and then they must have sold him right after we did the episode, July 7th of last year. 37 starts. They're in the Premier League, my friends. The Blades. 37 starts, 1 sub, played in every Premier League game. 21 goals, my friends. That is the most goals he's ever scored. That's like doubling his production from the Jupiler Pro League, which I don't think you would really expect, would you? With 2 assists, that's kind of his thing, right? 7 players in the match on a 706. I'd say he's like, Premier League suits me. Thank you. 3 cup starts with a goal and assist on a 6-8-7. 11 international starts with 7 goals, 2 assists, 4 players in the match on a 7-4-7. Let's take a look at the injuries. Nothing major. Bruised knee and the flu. See, a January flu, you go, yeah, that makes sense. Key player contract. He's good for another 3 seasons. Did they stay up? Yes, I just realized it showed it on his history. They finished 10th. They finished 10th, my friends. Is he the difference maker? Right? They got promoted 14th, 16th, starting to slip 17th. They said, go spend some money. They said 14 million to bring in somebody from Belgium. And you're like, okay, let's see how he does. 10th place, my friends. I'm going to say it's all Danny Dobson. It could be Wes Davies as well, but I'm going to say it's all Danny. How did Wes Davies do? Who's Wes Davies? 7 goals. That's not. He is like, surely, right? So they've got a right winger of some variety that's worth more money and making less. And then this guy, I guess, is the other striker. Okay, that makes more sense. How did this other striker do? They just signed him. Ooh. So we're going to have some competition for places potentially here. You got, right? Like, where are you going to play this guy like 4-4-2 right midfield? And these two as the 2 up top? Feels Danny Dobson is a vital part of this. Hey, look at this. Oh, they're loving some Danny Dobson at Sheffield United, my friends. 10th place. I think that's incredible. I think you chalk it up to, you kind of have to chalk it up, at least in part, to the guy that comes in and gets 21 goals in 38 games. Right? On a 706, I think he deserves some credit, my friends. Can't see that. How is South Africa doing? They're up to 17th from 78th. My goodness. He's the he's the second second top player. Right, we saw him in the World Cup. Then they've got African Nations Qualification Group K with a 5-0 and a 6-0 victory over Uganda and Tanzania. Sorry. He's there on a 6 point. That's impressive that you get a 6.5 in a game with 5 goals. Did quite better, an 8.8 with the goal in the 6-0 victory. Okay. They played a friendly against USA, and Lucky Kwana scored. Danny was there on a 7.0. They beat Ireland, so he was there. Okay, 7.2. No goal, but they got the victory. Uganda, 7.1 in a victory. Comoros did apparently not play. They won, though. Mexico in a friendly. Yes, he was there. 6.8. Cameroon, friendly. 6.6. Guinea, 8.6 in a 3-1 victory. And then African Nations Group D, 7.3 with a goal, but they in the 9th minute, he kicked the game off, right? With a loss, 3-2 or 2-3. 7.6 with a brace, gets them the victory against Tunisia. 8.7 with the brace over Gabon. Every so often, my brain. Okay, and they lost in the second round to Ivory Coast on penalty. Danny Dobson's not one of your penalty takers? Or was he subbed off already? Maybe they subbed him off. Surely they subbed him off, right? Right. Nothing on the upcoming schedule. So, looks to me like he's still got a... Like, he is definitely going to get that 100 caps, would be my guess. Doing a good job for him. Seems to have hit his stride, jumping up to the Premier League at the ripe age of 29. Or I guess he would have been 28 when he did. Which is a good time, right? He's a nomadic striker. So the media's picked up on the fact that he kind of went on a tour of Europe, right? Portugal, the Netherlands, Italy, Germany, Belgium, and now England. And he's only been transferred for $14 million. I think Sheffield United got the steal of the century for $47.5 million. What do you think? What do you think? That, my friends, is where we're going to end it. Again, I am blown away by the support on this save. We are going to have another experiment coming up in April, so make sure you stay tuned for that. It may roll out a little bit before that. I doubt that. My goal is to get it out by mid-April. We're going to do something very similar to this with the patrons. So thanks again to these folks up there for being patrons. I'd say this move here and this move here and how well it turned out are my surprises of this episode. But I'd love to hear what you think in the comments. So hit that like button. Let's get the discussion going. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.